Nepotism, the practice of favoring relatives in the distribution of jobs and resources, is often seen as a way for those in power to maintain their power and keep their relatives in a position of privilege. But where does this sense of entitlement come from? In this video, we're going to take a look at how nepotism works, how it maintains privilege, and why the rich and powerful are so willing to use it. Nepotism comes from the word nephew and is defined as the practice of giving jobs or other benefits to relatives instead of more qualified people. So, the simplest answer to the question of why the rich and powerful use nepotism to maintain their wealth and influence is that they can. For most people, getting ahead in life means having to work hard for what you want. But if your last name is Gates, it helps to have a famous dad who can just hand you his multi-billion-dollar company. Now, there are obviously huge ethical issues with handing out promotions based on family ties rather than merit. But even setting ethics aside, it doesn't really make sense after all. Why would you promote someone just because they re-related to you when you could be promoting someone better at their job who would do it for cheaper? There's only one good reason to use nepotism, and that reason is power. In order to understand this, let's take a look at the difference between power and wealth. Wealth is what you see. It's the fancy cars and mansions and clothes. But power is what's behind the scenes. Power is the ability to get what you want by influencing others. This can be done through social connections, political influence, or just plain old money. But whatever form it takes, power is about control. The rich and powerful use nepotism to maintain their power, because it allows them to control who has access to wealth and influence. By keeping jobs and promotions in the family, they ensure that their relatives will be loyal to them and do what they're told. This is because the only way for these relatives to get ahead is by staying in the good graces of their famous family member. If you're the kind of person who would benefit from nepotism, you've probably gotten used to people doing things for you simply because of who you re-related to. Maybe you've had bosses who are more concerned with your family name than your qualifications. Or maybe you've been passed over for promotions that you deserved because your boss wanted to give the promotion to someone else's kid. If you've ever experienced this, you know how frustrating and unfair it can be. But nepotism isn't just an annoyance. It's a way for the rich and powerful to maintain their power and privilege. And it can have serious consequences when jobs are given out based on family connections rather than merit. It creates a system where the rich get richer and the powerful stay in power. This isn't just bad for society as a whole, it's bad for the people who are using nepotism. When you promote someone based on their family name rather than their qualifications, you're setting them up for failure. That's because people will resent them for their undeserved success, and they'll be less likely to trust them. As a result, nepotistic promotions often backfire, creating incompetent leaders who couldn't get the job done even if they tried. The best example of this is the infamous Bush family business. When George W. Bush became president, he appointed his unqualified brother Marvin Bush as the chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Unsurprisingly, Marvin turned out to be terrible at the job. He was eventually forced to resign after making a series of bad decisions that resulted in heavy fines being levied against the commission. Or take Ken Griffin, the founder of Citadel, one of the largest financial firms in the world. In 2012, he named his girlfriend's father, a convicted felon, to Citadel's board of directors. Needless to say, this didn't end well. The SEC investigated the move and ultimately fined Citadel $3 million for not properly vetting its board members. As these examples show, nepotism rarely works out the way that the rich and powerful intend. But that doesn't mean that they've stopped using it. The truth is, nepotism is a powerful tool for maintaining wealth and influence. And the rich and powerful are always looking for new ways to use it. So the next time you hear about some CEO who just gave their kid a multi-million-dollar job, don't just roll your eyes. Remember that this isn't just an example of nepotism. It's an example of the rich and powerful using their wealth and influence to maintain their privilege. Now, check out this video on the real reason the rich hate poor people, or click this other video instead.